Welcome to Utopia Football Insider. Chris Ransom, Oren Shiri here. We'll be talking about Week 15 in the NFL, and
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on this week, actually. A few good games. We have a top game. We'll get to it a little bit later. We have the Thursday night game, Rams rival game, Rams and the 49ers. 49ers just lost the whole thing this year. Rams still shooting for that division uh, with Seattle and the Cards, but I don't think the 49ers will be in it this season. So I'm taking the Rams. I'm actually going to take the Rams to win big, Chris, here. 41-10.
everyone at Draft Utopia is taking the Rams. Everyone except me. I got the Niners continuing to build on their momentum. I have the 49ers winning this game, and I think they can go 9-8 if they beat the Lions. They're probably going to be 8-9, but I do have them winning this game. And it's going to set up a very I think both the Rams and the Niners end up at 7-7 entering Week 16 next week with 3 games to go. But I'm going to take the Niners to win. I'm waiting for the score to load here, but in the meantime, I'm going to take the 49ers to beat the Rams.
Well, let's go to the other LA team. They're hosting the Tampa Bay Bucks. And
that's a late game, and that's
a late game. I didn't know you wanted to go through the order, but I just was keeping on my
I don't mind going out of order, but let's pick another 1 p.m. game. I mean, Ravens Giants is the second game, but we can pick another 1 p.m. game if it's not like I just prefer to put the 4 p.m. games in the 4 p.m. slot. But all right, Ravens Giants.
How about the Kansas City's playing?
All right, we'll do Chiefs Browns. Let's do that. Yeah. Chiefs Browns.
Chiefs and Browns. We got Patrick Mahomes keeps winning this lucky season with him. I'm not going to put the refs down anymore, but wow, what a lucky kick last week against the Chargers. Do they tear up James Winston and the going down? Yes, they win in another close game, 24-21.
I've got the Chiefs winning 27-20. I think it's tied in the fourth quarter, but Patrick Mahomes has the ball in the final possession, and he throws a touchdown to Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce and Tony Gonzalez are tied for all-time touchdowns in Chiefs history, and if Travis Kelce catches a touchdown in Cleveland, he would surpass Gonzalez as the Chiefs' all-time player in receiving touchdowns, and Travis Kelce's from Ohio, the New Heights podcast with his brother, Jason Kelce. So I like the Chiefs 27-20, and I think Travis Kelce scores the game-winning touchdown. And I think it's going to be tied 20-20 at the 2-minute warning, and the Chiefs get a game-winning touchdown to end the game.
Or a game-winning field goal that's not made.
No, I think they're going to get a touchdown.
Anyway,
but they do play smart more so than play because if the Browns have all 3 timeouts, they'll go for the touchdown, not the field goal.
What do you have your next game on?
Next game, I've got Panthers-Cowboys. I'm not going to go in order, even though Ravens-Giants is next. I'll go Panthers-Cowboys. I have the Panthers, and the Panthers are favored over Dallas now. I know my site says that the Cowboys are favored, but the Panthers are actually favored to win now. It's the first time in 2 years the Panthers have been favored. I like Carolina to beat Dallas. Bryce Young, Chuba Hubbard, they have played really well as of late. I like the Panthers to defeat the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, Bryce Young almost pulled up an upset last week against the Eagles. Carolina is coming close to good teams like the Chiefs. But these are the Cowboys. They haven't had any luck this season. They're actually moving in the opposite direction, I think, than the Chiefs. And it just they were the overrated team, thinking that they were going to go to the playoffs in the beginning of the season, but that slim hopes are done. And you're right. I don't remember who I took on this.
You took the Cowboys.
I took the Cowgirls. Okay, I'll still keep it, but a very, very close game, 22-20.
Fair enough. I've got 24-21 Panthers. I'll go to the Ravens Giants now. I do expect this to be a blowout. I have the Ravens winning 31-13. And I may end up taking some points away from the Giants because this was under the assumption Drew Lock would start. With Tommy DeVito starting, this could be even uglier than 31-13, but I'll keep that score. But I'm just saying this could be uglier. The Ravens defense should give up a touchdown. Even if they make some interceptions, I think they'll give up at least one touchdown and hold the Giants to multiple field goals.
Well, I'm rooting for the Giants. Don't worry about it. But I would love for the Ravens to the Ravens will dominate this game, hands down. I don't think it should be a problem. They do still have one of the best defenses unit here. I just think it's going to be about 31-14. They will get 2 touchdowns, the Giants, but they won't really play too much of a game to stop the Ravens.
Yep. Next game is the Texans-Dolphins. I took the Texans. Oren took the Dolphins. I'm going to let Oren explain why he took the Dolphins first, and then I'll make my case for the Texans.
Well, Tua looks really good. I mean, he looks really outstanding. I think since his concussion, basically, Dolphins have to keep that playoff spirit, whether they make it or not. I know they're not in the. I mean, they're beating the Bills. Bills already got the division, but they can still get a wild card out of here. The Texans are coming off a much needed bye, though. However, staying healthy, I do see, a lot of projection. We'll see. I just feel it's going to be a 1-point game, Chris. But I'm taking Miami here. Who knows why? Maybe I want them to have the same record at the end of the day. I don't know. They can't, but anyway. 24-23, the Dolphins win.
I'm taking the Texans 28-21. I think Stroud comes out. He does his thing. And the Dolphins, they don't really have a good number 2 corner across from Ramsey. And the Texans have the weapons. I think the Texans win 28-20. And I think it's an 8-point victory for the Texans. It's a very convincing 8-point win. Next up, it's the Jets and the Jaguars. It's Aaron Rodgers versus Mac Jones. I'm taking Aaron Rodgers to win this one. I took the Jaguars last week. They played the Titans. I've got the Jaguars losing, but I think this goes to overtime and the Jets win 24-21. So after losing in overtime to Miami, the Jets have another overtime game where they win.
I mean, I just took the home team. I took the Jags here. Aaron Rodgers, the Jets, of course, are the favorite, probably by most new media. But his high expectations in the beginning of the season, coming back from an injury anyway, and he's still Aaron Rodgers, but it's just failed. The whole Aaron Rodgers, and then when he got Devontae Adams, that failed. Nothing is working in New York at all. So I just feel Trevor Lawrence will lead his team in the Jags for the first 2-game winning streak in the season, Chris. And they will win 24-16 over the Jets. I'm taking the Jags. All right.
I'm taking the Jets. Commanders, Saints. We both have the Commanders winning. 21-17 is my score. I think the Commanders barely cover the spread. I think this is a defensive game. I don't think Marshawn Lattimore has played this year since being traded from New Orleans to Washington. He was out with an injury the last 3 weeks, and then last week, Washington bye week. He was almost cleared to play in week 13, but he wasn't. He's ruled out at the last minute. So I think Lattimore will be making his Commanders debut against the Saints this week, and I think it's going to be a defensive game. I like the under in this one. The over-under is 47.5. I like the under. I'm going 21-17 Commanders.
Yeah, I mean, New Orleans is dead in the water. They had decent, some parts of the season look really good, but Derek Carr's hurt again, and just not happening in New Orleans. Unfortunately.
And Jake Hayner's going to get his first start of the year because if you remember, Rattler started, then he got benched against the Chargers for Hayner. So now Hayner's going to get a chance to play. And if Hayner plays poorly, it could lead to the Saints drafting a quarterback. If he plays well, maybe Hayner's the guy moving forward with as a backup to Carr. But either way, that's a discussion for another day. Next up is Bengals Titans. I think Burrow's going to win.
I'm going to go 28. Say my score.
I'm going to go 28-20 Bengals over the Titans. I think this is a big game for the Bengals. They got to win this to save their season, and I think the Bengals have a good chance of winning out with their schedule. I mean, going to Pittsburgh week 18 is going to be tough, but they get Denver at home in week 17. That's going to be a big game because if they can beat Denver, they can potentially cause some drama late in the season for that last wild card, the Bengals. But they pretty much have to win out at this point, and I think they're going to beat the Titans relatively easily.
Yeah, I mean, Bengals have great football players on their team on the offensive side of the ball with Burrow and Chase. I just feel that that's a big fan favorites there. It's a little bit too early. Hey, it's too bad they won't be playing. They might not be playing in the playoffs, Chris. I think you got that a little bit. I don't think
the Bengals might be. If the Bengals can win out, they might get the last wild card. But here's the thing: if the Colts go 9-8, the Broncos go 9-8, the Bengals go 9-8, the Colts would get the last wild card. The Colts play the Titans at home, the Giants on the road, and the Jaguars at home with Mac Jones to end the year. So
they got to win against Pittsburgh. It's going to be hard to do to get 9-8.
Even if the Bengals go 9-8, they would need the Colts to finish 8-9 in order to get in, and the Broncos would have to be 9.
Relying on other teams for you. I learned that lesson in college football this year.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not favorable for the Bengals, but I'm not ruling them out until they're out because they have Burrow, they have Chase, they have incredible weapons. Yeah, we'll save Lions Bills for later.
Anyway,
we'll save We'll save Bills Lions for later because
I'm taking 425. You gotta let me have the scores.
Yeah.
24-16 Bengals. And I don't think I put my Commanders score. 23-17 over the New Orleans Saints.
All right, those are the 1 p.m. games. I could jump into the 9th game, which is Bills-Lions, but I'm not going to do that because A, it's the game of the week, and B, Oren already proposed we mention the Titans-Buccaneers, which is the final 4 p.m. game. So we're just going to go into the Buccaneers-Chargers. That's the final 4 p.m. game. That's the game Oren mentioned. So we'll get into that one here. And I've got the Chargers winning this one over the Buccaneers by a score of 30-20.
Well, I think this is going to be a lot closer than people think. But you got to remember the Bucs are a bit banged up. They've been battling not great teams in the NFC South. And Baker Mayfield is relying on key players on defensive side of the ball more than what he got in front of him. So I just feel Herbert has a way to take over and control the game. They're both can go to the playoffs in this thing. So, I mean, yes, they're not going to win their conference most likely, but, I mean, Tampa still does have a chance. But Chargers should just get a wild card, and I think they're going to be one of the front runners in the wild card if they do win this game.
Yeah, I think if they draw the Texans, they have a good chance of advancing to the divisional round. Let's do the Pennsylvania. Should we do Patriots Cardinals or should we do the Pennsylvania matchup next? Or we can do Broncos Colts.
We'll do the Broncos and Colts, and then we'll go to the Pennsylvania rivalry.
Okay, all right. Because I want to save Lions Bills for the last 4 p.m. game before we get to the night games. So, all right, we'll go with the Colts Broncos here. I've got the Broncos winning 27-20. I think this is going to be a very close, very competitive game. but the Broncos, Richardson's never played in altitude like this. I think the advantage just favors Bo Nix.
Yeah, I mean, Bo Nix and the Donkeys have a 3-game winning streak, folks, and that's putting them in position to earn that wild card. And for the Colts to have a mention in the playoffs, they need a victory right here. Both teams, have an extra week and Denver is 6-0 and ATS as a favorite this season. So if you want to go with the betting game, Broncos going to win, and I'm going to take them 27-20 over the Colts.
All right. Who do you like? Next game's the Pennsylvania game. Steelers, Eagles. Tom Brady's going to be calling this one on Fox. I like the Eagles here. I think it's going to be very ugly. I'm going to go 34-14. Eagles win by 20 over the Steelers.
Who did I pick? Do you remember?
I believe you picked the Steelers, Oren.
Yes, I did. Thank you very much for reminding me. Well, there's a little drama in Philly. Despite they have a 9-game win streak. Do you know that, people? Everything is going right for Jalen Hurts. Everybody's been talking about the Chiefs. Well, you got a great team on the other side, the Eagles here. And the Steelers are not doing that bad themselves. But can they slow down Barkley and company? Is about to break Eric Dickerson's record. I feel that will happen regardless. Pittsburgh is going to win this game because they just want to acknowledge we're the more dominant team. I feel the Eagles, no matter, are in a stretch, but I feel it's going to be a really close game, maybe even another 1-point game here. 21-20, I will take the Steelers.
Okay.
And that's going to be a cold game. It's not going to be it's an outdoor nice day at a hot Philadelphia.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome. We'll go with the Cardinals Patriots next. This game's in Arizona. I like the Cardinals to win here. I'm going to go 34-28. I have the Cardinals winning by 6. I have them. This is a regulation game. I could see this going into overtime, but I think the Cardinals win by 6, 34-28, and I've got the Cardinals winning. Screw it. We'll give the Patriots an overtime loss to Arizona. So, yeah, 34-28 Cardinals in overtime.
Yeah, well, it's a bummer for the Cards. I mean, the last 3 games are just not really themselves lately. Could Kyle Murray and company come back and be respectable? I don't know. I mean, I never got caught up in Kyle Murray's thing. I thought he was good coming out college and everything, and he looks pretty good here and there, but he has up and down games. But then again, New England hasn't really got too much this season at all. 3-10 is not the greatest thing right now.
Yeah.
So I just feel the Cards are going to win. I'm going to take a 24-17 here. They both have a couple field goals, and they both get some touchdowns, but it'll be a fun game to watch, even though I don't think either team is going to make it to the playoffs. For sure, Patriots are eliminated. Arizona may have a chance if the other teams lose.
Yeah. Okay, so now we'll get to the Lions-Bills game in Detroit. We both have the Lions, but I think this is going to be a shootout. I've got the Lions winning 34-31 over Buffalo.
Well, the Lions, Buffalo's 10-3. Lions are 12-1. And I was talking about the Eagles. I think the Lions and the Eagles are the matchup for the championship when it comes to the NFC this year. And Bills, we know they're probably going to face Kansas City. I don't know right now because maybe Pittsburgh will have a say at that as well. So Josh Allen was incredible, even though they lost last week. He looked amazing. Defense did not. If the defense plays like that this week, like they did last week, I just feel the Lions will dominate this game, hands down. And you won't see as much as an explosion from Allen as you did last week. And the Bills get upset, but I'm going to take the Bills. I did not take the Bills, excuse me. I took Detroit. Yeah. And I took Detroit, but I still think they're going to win by a field goal. Detroit, because it's in Detroit, 30-27.
30-27, very similar to my 34-31 score. Sunday night game is Packers Seahawks in Seattle. This is an interesting game. I've got the Packers winning 28-24, but it's not easy to go into Seattle and win there.
Yeah, it's going to be actually Seattle have won 4 straight games and they're taking over first place in the NFC West. Yes, we talked about the Rams earlier. They had a losing streak though prior to that. We're just talking about the Packers, and the Packers they're winning. They're coming back and they're winning. They look balanced again, and I think it's going to be a very close game. I forgot who I took for when I said it.
You took the Packers. I went 28-24 Packers.
I'm going to take the Packers here. I'm going to take the 27-20. They're going to win by a touchdown.
All right. And then the 2 Monday night games, we'll start with the Bears, Vikings. Caleb Williams heads to Minnesota. The last game was a shootout where the Vikings won in overtime. I think this game will be a shootout. But I don't think it goes to overtime. I'm going to go 28-21 Vikings. Vikings win by a touchdown. The Bears play a competitive game.
Yeah, Minnesota is looking incredible. 11-2. They're in first place as far as I'm concerned in that division. Chicago, they have a rookie QB. He looked great at times. You and I know, I think we talked about before they drafted him. I think he was a little bit drafted ahead of what he should have been. And there's 2 other quarterbacks that I like that should have been picked a little bit ahead of him, and that's probably Nix and Daniels. I just don't see too much happening here. I feel that the Minnesota Vikings will blow them out 31-10. I just see that, Chris, because it's just the way they know how to beat them. And if you have a good defense, you're going to scare off Williams. That's it, plain and simple.
Yep. And the final game, it is the Falcons and the Raiders at Allegiant Stadium. And
what a joke. Okay, actually, again, a 6-7 team. They've been struggling. It's not like Kirk Cousins hasn't been as. I think he performed
this is
a lot
sort
better.
of a revenge game for Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder was drafted by the Falcons in the 3rd round of the 22 draft. This is sort of a revenge game for Ridder if the Raiders can pull off the upset.
The Raiders are playing for their first pick now.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think they're going to hold the points. The team is going to be it's going to be really, really close. They're going to keep it exciting. But that's what they have to do so they don't look like it's fake, like all the Chiefs games. But they're not going to dominate the game, the Falcons, but they'll win. I think 28 to, let's have a funky score for the Raiders, 28-16. It'll be a battle. They'll win at the 4th quarter. and it'll be like 21-16, but then the Falcons will take over. Anyway, there's nothing exciting about college this week, unfortunately, so we can't really talk too much about that. But if you guys had any questions about any of the seeds, the playoff seeds, we can discuss that next week as we draw closer to the games, the bowl games. But this week there's not really too much to discuss.
Next week we're going to do week 16. We might record week 17 next week. That is to be determined. We're not going to make that announcement yet, right, but we might record that next week just so that we have something we can promote the day before the week 17 games start, because the week 17 games start on Christmas. I've got plans with my family on Christmas and Christmas Eve, and so does Oren. So if we do, we might record week 17 next week, but then promote it on like the Tuesday or the day after the Monday night games end, so that.
Oh, I forgot. There is a good game to watch on Saturday if you guys are bored.
Army-Navy.
Army will dominate again and make a name for themselves because they're not going to the playoffs, unfortunately. So I just feel that 50-10, Navy is not even on the drawing board. Maybe 52. Let's put 2 points. 52-14. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, nobody's picked college football mascots on the floor. I have it on mute, but I've been watching the game show with Rob Lowe in the background, but I have it on mute, so I'm focused on you. I'm focused on the predictions. I'm focused on what's at hand, but I just think it's interesting that nobody's picked college football mascots. That would be a fun category to pick, but I'm just surprised nobody's picked it yet. But yeah, that's Oren Shiri. I'm Chris Ransom. We're wrapping up. Enjoy your week.